Coming up on this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, man, what a show we have for you. On the Monday Night Raw side, we talk about Drew McIntyre, the WWE Champion, returns to get his revenge on Randy Orton for taking him out. You don't believe what happened with that. Also, the Mysterio family attacked Buddy Murphy with kendo sticks. We'll talk about that. Also on the SmackDown Ring Report, we're coming with tensions after Jay Uso wins the Fatal 4-Way and now the new number one contender. Him and Roman Reigns on the fence a little bit. We don't know what's going on with this family affair where they team up. Don't believe what happened with that. Also on the NXT Ring Report, a new champion is crowned. The NXT champion is crowned. You won't believe who it is. Thank God. And also, Rhea Ripley gets her revenge on Mercedes Martinez in a steel cage match. And on the AEW Ring Report, damn, AEW, I mean, fallout from, All Out. Yes, we have a lot. Even someone from WWE Star makes a AEW debut, which I did not see coming. And Hot Topics as Mike Bennett challenges for the NWA title against champion Nick Aldis. Now Jack speaks out about Photoshop and many more as the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you joined us and you hear that new music. We're paying homage to WWE Backstage, so we love that music. So hey, WWE Backstage is no longer with us, so hey, we'll take it as public domain and we'll pay homage to it because we love the precipice of the public of the WWE Backstage. No Renee Young, it's kind of weird, no Renee Young, Booker T. But first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling Hit on Connect. Thank you all for watching. Tell a friend, call a friend, subscribe. Subscribe is king. Like I said, we want you to hit the subscribe button because wrestling matters. You are the pro wrestling audience. Make it matter. And thank you once again for making it a fruition. Alright, let's get to the Monday Night Raw Ring Report. Alright, Monday Night Raw Ring Report kicked off where no more contender for the WWE Championship. Randy Orton was in the ring talking about salivating that he won the triple threat match over Seth Rollins and Keith Lee. And he took out Drew McIntyre and he gets his shot at Clash of Champions, where we'll have in 2 weeks the Clash of Champions predict the outcome for the event, who I think is going to win. Hey, Randy Orton may not win this time. But stranger things that happened in WWE. But Drew McIntyre, the WWE Champion, came out of nowhere in an ambulance. He interrupted Randy Orton and attacked him and gave him a Claymore kick. Randy Orton kept having problems with himself. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. And then speaking of that, Michael Cole made a special reappearance on Raw, filling in for Tom Phillips, who was taking vacation. So Michael Cole was like, what's going on? Michael Cole commentating on Raw again. I guess just for just a minute. Also, Cedric Alexander did the unthinkable. Well, the Hurt Business attacked Cedric, Ricochet, and the rest of them. Cedric Alexander turned his back on his friends Ricochet and Apollo Crews, the United States champion, and now joined the Hurt Business. And he joined the Hurt Business in a fashion, and then he explained himself why he joined the Hurt Business because he was sick and getting tired of getting beat up by him. He said he wanted the money. He didn't care about Ricochet and everybody else. Well, that led to the Hurt Business with Cedric Alexander as his new member. Won an 8-man tag against Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and the Viking Raiders. It was like a small injury with that where Irod had to hit the X sign because he was hurt and injured. So we hope he recovers and stuff from his injury. But they're going to leave. Hopefully they put Ali in this right now. What's going on with all that? Oh, Ali can get himself back in the picture. Ali a talented wrestler, and then Cedric, all of them talented. Cedric, hopefully they don't make it seem like Cedric, Lashley, and Shelton turn on MVP. But Shelton Benjamin kind of had a little bit curious thoughts, like Terry Moats, like, what is you legitimately in this group, or are you just in this group just to infiltrate the group? Cedric said he's in the group, he's in it to win it. So let's see when he's in it to win it with that. But I can just give Cedric Alexander a big refresh, and help him out with his style and stuff down the road, because he needed someone in that group needed to turn heel. And Cedric was one this might be fit for him. Also, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, beat Angel Garza and Andrade. Now, once again, Retribution came at the impromptu and attacked all teams except Garza and Demi. Garza left Denny on her own, high and dry. Garza did the same thing this time during the tag match. Garza was arguing with Garza with Andrade and Selena Vega, and he left him. He is a Lito Lothario that just doesn't take responsibility and just leave. Well, Street Profits won after doing that splash by Montez Ford with the win. Also, Cesaro, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura appear on Raw, and then they challenge the Street Profits to a Champions versus Champions match for next week. I was thinking to myself, like, I hope and pray they don't unify these titles, because these titles need to be on their respective shows. So they're doing a champion versus champion match, and we'll see where they go next week on Raw, where the Raw Tag Team Champions meet the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Street Profits goes one-on-one against Cesaro and Nakamura. Also, R-Truth, with his funny 24/7 segments, he avoided a ninja attack again. And R-Truth was talking about, I didn't order no dessert. Ninja. R-Truth giving the butt of the joke again. He's funny on Raw Talk. He's real funny. R-Truth is an entertaining guy when you think of it. When you think about that. Also, former tag team partners collide as former tag team partners of the Iconics, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, went one-on-one. Peyton Royce defeated Billy Kay with some little maneuver and left Peyton Royce left Billy Kay on her feet. Both women were crying, like they didn't really want to break up, but you know how that is. WWE try to break up some groups out of nowhere. So a lot of people are speculating that Peyton Royce may be the one to get the push rather than Billy Kay. Billy Kay, give both of them pushes, but I like them as a team. That's what the money they get together, not separate. But when they were WWE, they always miss the boat on something. They need to have me, and I'm like, they need to be a team. They need to be running the women's tag team division. Maybe what you think. Also, Asuka and Mickie James teamed up together and went against Natalya and Lana after Asuka made Lana submit. But next week on Raw, Mickie James gets a shot at the Raw Women's Championship when she goes one-on-one against Asuka. Let it be some little special they doing. Let it be Raw or something. So Mickie James gets a shot to reclaim her glory days again by winning the Raw Women's title. So they got the one. What that leaves Natalya? Would there be a triple threat match at Clash of Champions between these three ladies? Never know. Also, a huge anticipated rematch as Randy Orton went against Keith Lee and won by disqualification due to Drew McIntyre interfering and attacking Randy Orton again. He even attacked him a third time and sent Orton away in the ambulance, and he bro kicked him multiple times. I think Drew McIntyre is being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and he wants to prove a point one way or another by just, showing Randy Orton that he's out the door. So Also, the Riot Squad beat Shayna Baszler in a handicap match by pinfall, and then they fought Nia Jax to no contest that was interrupted by Retribution, and they turned on the lights and cut a promo about their mission to take out WWE Superstar. A lot of people are speculating who are these Retribution members, like they're bitter, angry employees that once worked for WWE. Now, some of them may have venture off to Impact, to AEW, to Ring of Honor, and New Japan. So majority of them are in both in AEW and Impact right now. All right, we'll see. And finally, the main event. The main event was Dominic Mysterio went against Murphy. Murphy cut this promo way beforehand when the Mysterio family came and got interviewed by Charles Caruso. They all looked at want to be a united front. Ray saying he had an injury, and Dominic said he was going to take the torch right now until Ray gets back. Well, Dominic and Murphy had their street fight. It was brutal. It was gritty as it can be. It was nasty. He did what he did. Dominic won the match by defeating Murphy. They did like a 619 or something. And next thing you know, the Mysterio family came out there. Murphy tied up like Andre the Giant, grapevine tied up, and the Murphy got hit with the kendo sticks. I don't know how many times. He got him almost about 100 times. The mama got involved. She was doing a prayer cross, and then daughter got involved. I'm like, man, Mysterio family, you don't want to mess with them. You really don't want to mess with the Mysterio family. They are the most, woo. I wouldn't want to be whoever gets with Aaliyah. Woo. If you break that girl heart, Ray and Dominic gonna cripple you, man. I'm telling you. All right, that ends the Monday Night Raw Ring Report. Let's move over to the SmackDown Ring Report. And SmackDown kicked off with Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his chief tribe counselor to the tribe, or somewhere Paul Heyman want to call himself, which just an agent manager with him. And Jey Uso opened the show with promo talking about the upcoming Universal Championship match at Clash of Champions. Reigns said he will whoop Jay's ass like he did when they were kids. I think Jay thought it was a funny and playful, but Roman was dead serious. Roman took it serious. But then King Corbin and Sheamus interrupted too, saying they're the case of nepotism that Jay was tossing no one contenders match. Now they want to bring up what's going on and stuff, and you know how that is. So later on, it was going to be a tag team match between the four men, and Roman and Jay teamed up and defeated Sheamus and King Corbin. Jay did this majority of by himself until Roman came up, attacked King Corbin and speared Sheamus. He showed up and win. And like he said on his new t-shirt, wreck everyone and leave. So it's going to be real telling. Is Roman going to really be savage? Because a lot of people are speculating that Roman ain't going to have not going to be playful. He's going to be just savages. He's just going to wreck his cousin. And he's just going to destroy his own family due to Paul Heyman in his ear. Also, the Sami Zayn, who so-called claims himself as a self-proclaimed Intercontinental Champion, attacked both Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles and ruined their Intercontinental title match. Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles were supposed to have an Intercontinental Championship match. Just Sami Zayn told them, I'm the rightful Intercontinental Champion. I'm the truthful Intercontinental Champion. And everyone didn't believe it. Sami Zayn had to leave, and Hardy did pass out what was referred as dehydration. What? Dehydration? That's what they can come with. He needs to just say, "Get the man just got a Hoover kick or something." There you go. Well, there you go. Also, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura lost by pinfall to the Lucha House Party, who was struggling at first to get a win, and there was dissension inside the group. Street Profits, the Raw Tag Team Champions, made an appearance backstage, and they just scratched Cesaro and Nakamura. This leading to their up-and-coming champion versus champion match. I talked about on the Raw Ring Report, and we're leading up to it. So it's going to really be good this week on Raw, where champion versus champion, champions versus champions, tag champions. Street Profits versus Nakamura and Cesaro, who's the dominant tag team for their brand. Also, Bayley came and explained why she did what she did. Why, Bayley? Why? To Sasha Banks. After these two women were the best of friends, they was inseparable. But Bayley had a different side and said that Sasha cost them everything, and she wanted to get back at Sasha the only way she can, by destroying her. So, you know, when Sasha may come back, she's gonna come back with a vengeance. And I hope she come back around Hell in a Cell. Well, speaking of that, we had to determine who was the number one contender for Bayley. Who's gonna be stepping up to be number one contender for Bayley's women's championship at Clash of Champions? Well, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, and Tamina. Well, these women had, Alexa Bliss the only one out of the group that was a SmackDown Women's Champion. But everybody else has been contenders for the championship. And can they come back? Lacey was a contender at Royal Rumble. Tamina was a contender at Money in the Bank. And Nikki was recently a contender at Extreme Rules. Now, fast forward now, the match was high paced. Bayley was about to leave during her promo and attack Nikki Cross from behind. Nikki Cross was working with a bad back, in a way, injured back, but she managed to get through it. It was a couple of saves and breakups by Tamina and Lacey. But at the end, Nikki Cross found the way, and Nikki Cross finds herself again getting another shot at the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley. So Nikki just that warm stay until Sasha returns and confronts her former best friend. I can't wait for that day to come. I really can't. Also, Money in the Bank winner Otis beats John Morrison by pinfall. The Miz tried to steal. The Miz was on commentary, and then on top of that, he attempted to steal the small briefcase that Otis carries, but it was another decoy, and this one just had apple core in it. Wow. Wow. I mean, Otis had an apple, and you know how that go. Also, on the Firefly Funhouse, the Vince Bray Wyatt introduced, saying he's gonna get his time back one day. And he said about loss. And he said, "Well, loss, you redeem yourself." Well, the Vince McMahon puppet character came out there with a new member of the puppet crew and told Bray that you need to earn my trust, and Bray was gonna get fired and stuff. Well, the Wobbly Wobblers, which is a parody of Paul Heyman. Everybody knew that was Heyman, with the tusk in the hair, and I was like, wow. This new character replaced possibly the parrot who died when Wyatt didn't poke holes in the box who he was hiding in. So this Wobbly Wobblers is going to be the advisor to the Firefly Funhouse. I mean, Paul Heyman now an agent for Brock Lesnar, now the counsel to the tribe to Roman Reigns, and now someone making a parody of him of being the advisor to the Firefly. I mean, Paul Heyman just the butt of the joke this week. I'm telling you. All right, that is the SmackDown Ring Report. When we return, we'll have the NXT Ring Report and the AEW Ring Report. Many of AEW hit 1 million this week, and many people think this former WWE superstar had something to do with it. And also, coming up next is Hot Topics. If we talk about on Hot Topics, just everything what's going on in wrestling. Mike Bennett challenging for the NWA title. When it's going to happen, and a lot more. Nia Jax, all this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show continues after this. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Thank you all for watching. Pro Wrestling matters. You matter because you watching the Pro Wrestling Show. And we thank you once again for watching. All right, let's get to hot topics. Well, hot topics this week, man. We got a lot to talk about. Now, many people know that Mike Bennett was part of the WWE talent releases way back in April, and now he's resurfacing after the 9-day no complete calls ended. So now Mike Bennett is free at last, and now he's venturing to the NWA. Well, Mike Bennett posted a challenge to NWA champion Nick Aldis on a podcast. Now Nick Aldis and Mike Bennett will duke it out for the NWA title on Fight TV on September 15th. So it will probably be this Thursday, this Tuesday. These two men fight out for the NWA title. Good piece on the NWA YouTube channel where Aldis talks about him coming back to hit the restart, and Bennett talking about that he needs a redemption, he needs a reset for himself. So good for them. We'll see how it go. Also, longtime TNA voiceover artist Barry Scott. Many of you know that Barry Scott was the voice of TNA with the deep voice. He had passed away at the age of 65. Barry Scott was a legend, and he said the last thing he did was the Moose thing. So Barry Scott will be missed for what he had done. I'm telling you. Also, Nia Jax, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, she speaks out about being photoshopped. Nia Jax recently tweeted that she wanted to be not photoshopped and show her natural features and her beauty. Nia Jax is a beautiful, big woman, but she didn't like the fact that she was being photoshopped heavily. Also, WWE started releasing producers. WWE released longtime agent and producer Jared Briscoe. Jared Briscoe was part of the recruiting team where he recruited stars such as Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, the Authors of Pain, and many other collegiate athlete stars. So Jared Briscoe said that Mr. McMahon personally called him and told him that he was released. Wow. And also, Silver Star, who's known as Sharita, she was part of the women's, helping out the women's division. She got released. IRS got released. Hey, everybody getting released. But they wanted, a lot of people saying WWE's favoring younger producers and older producers. So that could be an issue right there. Also, Tessa Blanchard returns to wrestling after being the script of the Impact Championship and being the first woman to hold that title. Tessa Blanchard returned to wrestling to Chicago's Warrior Wrestler to wrestle again. So many people are still speculating where is she going to land. She's going to land in WWE or AEW. I think she'll be a great fit for either one, but I think AEW, since her dad's there, she can get the rub from her father and stuff. So look for that. Also, wrestler Puppet dies at 54. We have the clip from People magazine on it. Take a look.
Professional wrestler Stevie Lee, who went by the name Puppet the Psycho Dwarf, has died. Lee's family confirmed the news Thursday on a GoFundMe page, revealing that the athlete died unexpectedly at his home Wednesday morning. He was 54 years old. The family statement says, quote, Puppet has put smiles across the world with his hardcore attitude and lifestyle. His family is asking for donations to help his brother, Jim Richardson, afford Lee's funeral costs. According to Deadline, Lee began his wrestling career on a series NWA Total Nonstop Action in 2002. He also created the Half Pint Brawlers organization, which earned its own reality series on Spike TV in 2010. He also appeared in Johnny Knoxville's 2010 film Jackass 3D and his credits in Oz the Great and Powerful and American Horror Story Freak Show. Impact Wrestling, former known as TNA, paid tribute to the late star on Twitter, expressing their sadness and sending their deepest condolences to Lee's family and friends. And professional wrestler Frankie Kazarian also honored Lee on social media. He tweeted in part, "I'll never forget the crazy tour of the UK we shared and the fun we all had. Godspeed, my friend."
You see right there, wrestler Puppet was a fixture in Impact in his early days in the Asylum, has passed away. Puppet was that, you know. He was a little midget wrestler that captivated the world. He used to cuss and stuff. And like, wow. Wow. Also, you taking lightly to Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa had an impressive women's match at All Out against Shira Shida. She didn't win the title, but she gained a lot of respect and notoriety. And hopefully AEW signed Thunder Rosa to the main roster so she can, you know, keep on wrestling. I'd like to see Thunder Rosa. You know, when she was in NWA, she had that feud with Melina, so like, it kind of worked. Also, Booker T, the five-time WCW champion, spoke on his podcast about Cedric Alexander's recent heel turn. Take a look.
Of course, the Hurt Business, man, finally got that boy Cedric Alexander. And what did I say?
What'd you say?
You don't remember? Was it on our show or was it on the Kickout show? Asking me about Cedric Alexander. I say, man, this guy need to wise up. You know, he need to go ahead on and join the club. You know, look, ain't no use of going against the grain. It's like Nino Brown said, either you gonna roll with us or we'll roll right over you. You know, so that's all that was. And my thing is, all the other brothers, you know what I mean? Ricochet, you know what I mean? Mustafa Ali, you know what I mean? You Brown, you look good. You know what I mean? We can use you. You know, I'm like, get all the brothers, man. You know, even with the big giant brother that shows up at you know, Raw Underground. You know what I mean? Go talk to him. You know what I mean? Start a whole revolution and just take over. The beginning was, you know, beating up, the Viking Raiders. They're the beginning. You know what I mean? They were the beginning. They were the tip of the iceberg. Now it's time to break down a whole, you know, piece of ice. You know what I mean? So my thing is, I like it. I like where the Hurt Business is going. You know, don't call me or anything like that. I don't want to be part of it, but I do like where it's going. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the addition of Cedric Alexander. I think that he's missed, in my opinion, he's kind of missed an edge about him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, sure, he can go out there and he can do anything inside the squared circle athletically more than anybody could even ever dream of. But he always, to me, was missing just something. There was just something that I wasn't connecting with. And it was that edge. I never felt like he was going to go out there and beat somebody up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I felt like I never got that from him. Not saying that he's not capable of it, just what it was illustrated by him and his character on television, I never got from him. Now, being aligned with Bobby, Shelton, Envy, right when you walk out, I'm nervous. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, here's the thing. You ever been solo dolo out and, you know, four dudes are rolling by and they kind of give you that look? And you're, maybe not you, because you're jacked. You're huge. You're a massive individual. I am not. So, you know, four guys walk past me and they shoot me a look, I'm already intimidated. I'm nervous. Get away from me. I don't want anything to do with it. Cedric Alexander now has that power in numbers. And when he comes out, he has somebody backing him. And when you got somebody backing you, you got that intimidation factor. I think that it's going to do really good for him as long as it's executed properly and he's able to shine within that group. Because that's the other thing. We have four members. Not everyone can be the star. You know what I mean?
No, that's the thing, man. You got to know how to be a role player. You know what I mean? Orrin Anderson, Tully Blanchard, great role players. Guys know how to go out there and play. I mean, Gene also, Gene Anderson, only Gene. Yeah, that's right. Those guys know how to play their role. They knew Ric Flair was the guy. They say, we got to, come on. Everybody can't be Mick Jagger. Okay. Everybody can't be the front man. Everybody can't go out and play that role right there. So you got to know how to play your role. Me personally, I like it. I like it. Everything about it there again. They need to add, a couple more pieces to the puzzle. A couple of hit men, you know what I mean? Guys that we know ain't finna win no titles. Okay. They ain't going to be, all they are is, strictly for the hit job, to set me up to, do. I'm serious, man. And if we did things that way right there, man, we definitely could kick this thing off, make something out of it. Yeah.
And Booker T saying Cedric Alexander doing the right thing to get the rub and get everything going. When we got men like MVP and Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, those veterans. If you think about it, if you look back in 2005, 2006, like 14, 13 years ago, the man with all three guys was somewhere on the main roster. And now 13 years later, they're back on the main roster. It tells you right there the longevity of those three men. I'm telling you. Also, what's next? Matt Hardy incident. Well, the rest of the Observer, Brian Alvarez and company talked about Matt Hardy, a recent thing. Take a look.
Matt Hardy comes out for his promo in the appropriate t-shirt that reads, "I don't die" in giant letters.
That's his gimmick. Matt Hardy never dies.
Apparently.
And in fact, he doesn't.
He's alive. He has not died yet. He hasn't even died once. So he's addressing the fans, thanks them for their concern. Everyone has been so worried about his condition. He thanks everyone at home for watching and supporting him. He says, at the pay-per-view, I suffered a scary fall. Correct. It frightened a lot of people. Also correct. There's been an outpouring of love and support. I'm happy to announce I've been through all my tests. I'm expected to make 100% full recovery. Mentions his shirt. He is, in fact, the luckiest man alive. He points out Rebby and their youngest... I almost called her Reba. It's somebody else on Dynamite. Rebby and their youngest child were there in person. He also looks at the camera to talk to Maxwell and Wolfgang at home. Apologizes to his family for putting them through all this. Apologizes to his fans for putting them through that on Saturday night. Thanks them all for their support and their love. The match was not what he wanted it to be, but it's a good thing the vendetta between him and Sammy is over before somebody got hurt very badly.
That is absolutely... that was all I heard on Sunday. Was like, we got to end this feud. Like, someone's going to die. And I'm pretty sure it is now over.
Yeah, I hope. I said the same thing on our show. So it is time for him to go home. It is time to get healthy. He's going to win some matches and get his first AEW championship. His journey is not over. Without you, there is no me. And he leaves.
You guys are the best. Pro wrestling fans are the best. And they all cheer. By the way, I got to mention, crowd so much better on this show. I think they took they basically, I think, laid down some crowd swinging underneath the actual live crowd. It helped tremendously compared to the last couple of shows. And they were super into Matt Hardy. It was the best babyface promo you ever saw. Such a likable guy. You wanted to get behind him. You wanted to see him fight for the title. This was awesome.
Like I said, Matt Hardy getting his recent stuff. So hopefully Matt Hardy gets himself refocused and reshaped and remotivated to do what he needs to do. So we're rooting for Matt Hardy here. All right. That is Hot Topics. Let's move over to the AEW Ring Report. All right, the AEW Ring Report kicked off with Tony Schiavone standing right there interviewing as two black Escalades came through. One was MJF and Chris Jericho. They both came out losers at All Out. Chris Jericho created the Mimosa Mayhem match. Didn't win the match against Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy used a super punch and threw him into the pit pool of Mimosa, which Jericho was floating around, and people started doing memes on it. And this likewise for MJF, he was unsuccessfully couldn't win the AEW championship from John Moxley. MJF kept doing a ground game with the focus on the arm. Moxley counter and behind the referee's back used the double RDT to keep his title. Both men were praising each other, Jericho and MJF, about you should have won your match. And then once the interview was over with, Jericho and MJF, different sides, saying he's such a loser. I mean, Jericho and MJF, they got something in common, but they just don't like each other. I'm just telling you, just crazy. But also the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon, and Ray Phoenix with Eddie Edwards and Butcher and Bray went against Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Match was hot and heavy. At the end, Jungle Boy rolled up Ray Phoenix for the victory and took another out, destroyed. Eddie Kingston tried to motivate them to say, get back to your ways again, get back to your winning ways. So we'll see how they all fare out. Also, Jake the Snake Roberts and Lance Archer were in the alley in the rain. Now, Lance Archer won the match. I thought Cage was going to win, but that didn't turn out to be. I guess they keep building monsters for Moxley to go against the world title. Now, Jake the Snake sent a warning to Moxley that, hey, you better watch out because Murdoch wants the AEW title. He's going to get it. And we found out that on the anniversary show in October that the match will happen between Moxley and Archer for the World Championship. And then Archer said everybody in the end dies. Wow. Also, Matt Hardy came out with a special announcement. Hardy, Arena's champ, broke Matt Hardy with his family on the side. Matt Hardy said he has to get himself together, regroup, refocus his mind after he took that nasty spot. That some people thought he had a concussion, but Hardy refuted. But Reby kind of didn't let hold back. She cussed everybody out. What she thought did at 8:30. He wants some gold, so we'll see what kind of gold he'll get. Will Matt Hardy go for the world gold or go for the TNT gold? No. Also, Orange Cassidy coming out and win goes against Angelico with Jack Evans. Orange Cassidy won the match. So Chuck Taylor and Trent was out there trying to fend off Santana and Ortiz. So next week, the Best Friends goes against Santana and Ortiz in a parking lot brawl. Also, Alex Marvez was backstage knocking on Young Buck's door. He was trying to get a response to him about the breakup of the Elite this past Saturday. The door finally opened, but the Bucks Super Kid Marvez. Super Kid! What's that dude's name? Steve Carino used to say all the time. And next was time for the Best Man reveal. Kip Sabian, Superbad, and Supergirl came out into the ring and were congratulated by Tony Schiavone. Kip told Tony Schiavone to get lost, and Kip named who's gonna be the best man. Some subscribers named Puff came out there, believing he was the best man. Kip told him that it was a mistake. Told him to leave. Brian Pillman Jr. came out there. He told Brian Pillman Jr. that he was confused. They're not even friends. He told Pillman to get out the ring. And next thing you know, the next person came out and the best man was Miro. Miro, formerly known as Rusev. I didn't see it coming. I was talking to somebody about it. I'm like, we was talking about Rusev, and then all of a sudden Rusev popped up. I'm like, what in the world? Rusev came out there, and Rusev said 10 years in the same house, you can take this brass ring and shove it up your you know what. My name is Miro, and I'm all elite. So it's confirmed. Rusev, Miro is now all in part of all elite wrestling. It's good. And then a lot of people saying that all elite did 1 million. I think Rusev kind of took them there. People talked about on social media. Do you know Rusev in AEW? What? Rusev in AEW? Now I see why Lana trying to get herself fired. Also, Heyman Adam Page sat down with Tony Schiavone, and Heyman was talking about how everything's falling apart, and he wants to get back with Kenny and stuff. So we had to see. They're saying Kenny Omega might go back to the cleaner gimmick again, so we'll see on that. Also, the demo guy Chris Jericho and Jake Hager form a newly tag team against the Bad Boy George Janela and the Concrete Rose Sunny Kiss. This match was okay. It was good. Jericho did his weight. Jericho and Hager got to be real comfortable because you're wrestling an abnormal team. You got to be on your toes. At times, Sunny Kiss was kind of trying to wrestle by showing that, hey, I'm part of the LGBTQ. We know that. We get that. Just wrestle. And I think he was just Jericho. And then I think Hager slammed Kiss on the ground, and they won the match. And Jericho said he had his eyes on FTR and the AEW Tag Team title. So Jericho had to get through that match to solidify him and Jake Hager as a solid tag team. My God. Also, MJF was at his campaign headquarters, and MJF fired all his campaign staff, and he still told War stood up and asked MJF if he had a problem with him. MJF reminded War that Tony Khan doesn't sign his checks, that MJF signs. Only did Warlock reluctantly said there were no problem. Look for this going to be a blowout between Warlock and MJF. MJF going to really piss Warlock off. You're going to see a babyface monster from Warlock. Also, the newly crowned World Tag Team Champions FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cass Wheeler were in the ring for a victory celebration with Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard reminded them a couple weeks ago, like, hey, you need to go for the tag team gold. That's what the only goal, the only mission you need to get. And FTR did that. They decimated Kenny Omega and Heyman Page at All Out, and they sell like true technicians, like the Brain Busters. They dissected and they won. So FTR is up there with the Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, the Brain Busters, Four Horsemen, the Legion of Doom, but they ain't no rough out. I can see them like Tully and Arn. Next thing you know, Jungle Jurassic Express came out there, and it's gonna set up a feud between them, FTR and Jurassic Express for the World Tag Team title. And then at the end, all the tag teams came out there with the cape, and no one damaged the cape. Everybody ate the cape, which that was something new and different, which made sense, Hey. Also, Taz come out for the next match for a commentary. Darby Allin music, Taz saying he's going to introduce Darby Allin, and Darby music came out there, and Ricky Starks cosplaying as Darby, and Starks described Darby as being reckless, said he's going to be relentless being Darby next time we see him. Darby Allin took that power bomb with the body bag with thumbtacks, so to Cage and Ricky Starks have a vendetta. I think Darby Allin need to find someone to combat Cage and get his hands on Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is a phenomenal athlete and a phenomenal promo guy, so look for that. Also, who's gonna get Taz? Who knows? I like that part when Jake the Snake Roberts said the Flintstones, which is crazy. Following this was the ranked number 2 tag team, ranked number 2 at the Native Beast Nile Rose with Vicky Guerrero at her side against Talia Cotton, who's in NXT now in AEW. And tired, or that tired lost to Nia. She put up a competitive match but lost. She came out there on her feet while Vicky and Rose retreated. So there's gonna be another setup match between them two again. Also, it was announced that the Bucks' unsportsmanlike superkick partner, Evan Martinez, Tony Khan, has fined both Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson $5,000 each. So the Bucks, do executive vice president, they had to pay $5,000. They know better. They know better, I guess. Well, Jim Ross, he interviewed Kenny Omega, and now that Kenny and Heyman had chemistry, and JR asked, "What's next for you?" And Omega saying he'd like to go back to singles action. Probably want to go for the World Championship, the TNT title. We'll see. It was time for the main event. As the AEW TNT title match was on, as the Exalted One, Brody Lee, leader of Dark Order, defends his title against the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. It was a battle of class. It was a battle of rough. Brody reminds me of Bruiser Brody with that rough house style, that kick style. Dustin Rhodes, smooth, natural in the ring as he was. He's even got better. 30 years ago, Dustin Rhodes was a young kid. I remember that's on WWE Network where Dustin and American Dream, Dustin Rhodes was talking and saying, "This is my Lord. This is my Lord." Dustin proved a lot, and like I said, Brody pinned Dustin 1, 2, 3, and they told Colt Cabana to leave, and they did the same thing to what's his name? Forgot that dude's name. QT Marshall. Wow. AEW getting good, and then Cody had a special message. I'm thinking Cody gonna say, "Hey, I'm coming back." Cody revealed that he's gonna be a judge on TBS talent show. Oh God. And speaking of that, Miro speaks on his YouTube channel after seeing what he said when he made AEW debut with this.
What's up, y'all? It is Miro. Today's a special day because today is the best day ever. But it is the best day ever. It's not just a gimmick. It's not just a name. It's not something that I just came up with. It really is the best day ever. And, if you haven't heard any of the promo or anything I said, I really meant that. 10 years, the same roof, glass ceiling, always pissed that there's this brass ring, this imaginary brass ring that I already told you what to do with that brass ring. But yeah, the feeling is great, man. I really, really felt great. I feel through the whole day. Just my feelings, like I was trying to keep myself numb for the past 2 or 3 days. And by that I mean I just trying to tune out of all the emotions and everything that is going through. But I think it was the last 2 days that it really got to me. It really got me really, really excited. The closer it got, the more excited I got. And I just all day just going back and forth, just thinking, what should I say? Then I was like, it's not just what should I say, but the things that I say, just I felt all the things, and I do feel all these things still. That's why I believe this is not just a promo per se, but those were my feelings. I do feel like I am the best, and I do feel the thing that I said about the brass ring. So with that being said, I'm super excited. AEW. There's been about 95,000 people here that I've never worked with, including that guy right there. We got Heat. He's got the blonde hair as well, and the blonde hair, and his beard is just not like mine, but it's dark. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm stealing your gimmick. But they're all super nice though. Everybody's so nice here. Everybody's so receptive. Kip is great. Kip, Penelope, congratulations for their wedding. Since I'm going to be the best man, period, that's going to be their best wedding ever. And if you know me, you know I know a thing or two about weddings. You see me, I have about only 4 of them. And that's only the one you know. Nah, man, but I'm super excited about everything, honestly. I'm stoked. Walking out, felt goosebumps. Like, and it just, like, I saw, like, I seen Billy Gunn in the crowd and seeing, like, all these people. Like, Billy Gunn was my trainer before. Just knowing that he's here, and he was so happy, man. Just seeing his smile and everybody else's and the crowd, because yes, in AEW we do have crowd. We have like about 1,000, 2,000 people, and it's such a fantastic feeling being in front of people, man. I tell you, and I do watch. I love my video games and I love Twitch, and I will keep doing Twitch all the time. But wrestling is my love, man. I came to this country, to the United States of America, to be a professional wrestler. And now I'm in the best professional wrestling promotion. And that's all we do, wrestling. Lego.
Miro making history, and Miro's gonna be a true impact player coming forward into the WWE. So we'll see stuff. All right, that ends the AEW ring report. Let's go over to the NXT ring report. The NXT ring report kicked off where we last left off with a triple threat, fatal 4-way match, I meant to say, between Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. Well, in the Iron Man match, had the most pinfalls. Finn Balor and Adam Cole had the most. Well, referee decided that the two needed to have a sudden death, and they was gonna have one next week. When next week turned out this week, it was an NXT match between Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. Both men gave it all, but at the end, Finn Balor won the NXT title by pinning Adam Cole and won the title for the second time. Finn Balor, I'm so happy for Finn Balor. He did the impossible. He did the thing. So congratulations in order to Finn Balor. Backstage, Robert Stone had a baseball bat and was about to wreck Shotzi Blackheart's tank. When Shotzi caught him, I think he was tired of getting run over by her tank. Well, Leah then attacked Sansa, and the two of them spilled into Io Shirai's photo shoot, which brought the NXT Women's Champion into the mix. Io and Shotzi fought Aaliyah and took out along Robert Stone. Sasha then posed with the title as a sign that she's coming forward, and Io grabbed it. So now next week, Io meets Shotzi for the NXT Women's title. It's going to be a real good competitive match between the two women. I tell you right now. It's going to be real good. NXT, they need to move, and then they was on their Super Tuesday, so USA trying to tell them stay on Tuesdays, and NXT like we want to be on Wednesday. So you know how they go. Also, Tegan Knox came off to dinner because the ring and John Gargano thing. Well, Tegan was trying to make amends. Candice and John tried to welcome her. Tegan didn't take liking to it. Tegan attacked both of them they had a food fight, and then next thing you know, the TV got ruined. You know how they go. So Candice and Tegan Knox rivalry is far from over. I'm telling you. Also, Timothy Thatcher thinks life grinds you down till you tap out, just like he's gonna do Damian Priest in his little film study with his students, I think. So Timothy Thatcher, the next challenger in line against Damian Priest, this is going to be his first title defense against Thatcher. And Thatcher said he's going to work on Priest's arms to secure victory. So we'll see. Also, Velveteen Dream defeated Ashanti Adonis by pinfall, and then he was attacked from out of nowhere from Kushida. So Velveteen Dream, Kushida name forgot about what he did to him. Velveteen Dream attacking Kushida, and Kushida wants his receipt. So we'll see on that. Also next Wednesday, Imperium gets a tag team title shot against the new champions, Breezango. Could Breezango remain tag champs? We'll see. We'll see. Also, Bronson Reed defeated Austin Theory by pinfall. This comes from the Shields when Bronson Reed was going against, I forgot who he went against, but he went against somebody and he lost the match by a fluke. And he blamed Austin Theory and he wanted his revenge. And he did so using power moves on Austin Slam. Bronson Reed could be the next Bam Bam Bigelow when you think about it. He says Bam Bam Bigelow was his influence, so we'll see. Also, Roger Strong went against Killian Thane by pinfall. But after the match, Bobby Fu Fish and Strong kept beating on Dane until Drake Maverick came out there to help out. However, Maverick offered a handshake, but Dane punched him in the face. Drake Maverick can't get a break. Drake Maverick can't get a break. So, you know how they go. So we know next week that Timothy Thatcher gets his North American title shot. Io Shirai will fight Sean Blackheart for the NXT Women's title. And the main event was finally a steel cage match, this grudge match between Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez. Rhea Ripley come out the heels and Mercedes had called her out and attacked her from making cheap shots. Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez. Rhea Ripley didn't waste no time. She attacked Mercedes Martinez and got her into the cage and slammed her the cage and Whitney and her. Mercedes had got her pot shots at her by decimating her, destroying her down, kept her down the floor. And Robert Stone tried to come in and Rhea got distracted and she got a mistake. We thought for a minute that Mercedes was going to win, but Rhea Ripley countered. She picked up Mercedes Martinez and dropped her to the table. It was like Mercedes brought the weapons in and Rhea kind of finished it from there. Rhea Ripley being the strong link in NXT and being next in line for a women's title shot down the road. But she had to finish that grudge match with Mercedes. And then turn to find out Mercedes got fired by Rhea Ripley, by Robert Stone. What was the point of using her? Now they go. What's the point? She wanted to be in the group, and then now you got her damaged goods. Just tell you. All right, that ends the NXT Ring Report. That ends this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. We covered all of pro wrestling this week: Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, and Hot Topics. So 5 segments we did, but we're gonna leave it right there. But 2, don't forget, we want to remember the people who had passed away, thousands of people who died on 9/11. So hey, like I said, never forget September 11th. But I've been your host, Kenny Dixon, and so long. We'll see you next time for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.